I'm Peggy Bradt, and I'm a docent here at the CAM. When I first saw Karel Appel's Mother and Little Boy, I didn't like it. It's messy, and it's hardly identifiable as two adult figures, as two human figures. Now, as a mother, if my 4-year-old brought that to me, I would proudly display it on my refrigerator. Developmentally speaking, it is appropriate for about a 4-year-old. As a psychologist, I look at this and I wonder what this says about his relationship with his mother. And frankly, I wonder a little bit about his mental health. But as a museum docent, I'm drawn to this one. Almost every tour group I take has to come through, and I encourage them to stop and at least consider this print. There's something compelling about it. It's raw and it's intensely colorful, and you look at it and there's motion and emotion in it. Appel was one of the founders of a movement called Cobras in 1950s Paris. And these artists came from Copenhagen, Brussels, and Amsterdam, hence the name. And they had all survived Nazi invasion. They had all been a part of that era. And one of the things they wanted to do was to break away from the art of that era. The style was staid and formal and controlled. So they looked around and found inspiration from the work of children and from the mentally ill and more primitive, raw sources. And so what you see here is this childlike energy, the spontaneity, the bold lines, the splashes of color, the thick black lines outlining some of the facial features. It's more expressionist than representational. There are other prints in the museum that I like a lot better than this one, if you define like as it's aesthetically pleasing and I would hang it in my living room. But this one is compelling. I'm drawn to it. If you come with me on a tour through the Belden collection, I can almost promise you we will stop at this one. And I will ask you, what is it that you see here? What do you experience when you're looking at it? And think about what Karel Appel was experiencing when he painted it. What was he trying to say to us? Thanks for taking a brief pause with me.